Just got off to work on a 27 plus mile commute and finally going on my run for the first time with the Adidas Evo SL. So I'm really excited. I'm just going to do maybe a tempo run, maybe do some few sprints or intervals, or maybe some sub 3 miles. I don't know, but I at least want to get some mileage in it, even if it's easy miles, to see how they work at easy miles as a daily trainer, because these are supposed to be really like pushing. So good stack height. Just really excited to be donating those New Balance Rebel V4s and getting these on finally. Really excited. They look great, along with these I just got, the Pro 4, which I really like.
Hell yeah.
Welcome back, Pineapple Leaf, to another one. Let's get straight into this. Today we are going to be going over Better Late Than Never Adidas Evo SL Lucid Yellow Lello, which is one of the most highly anticipated shoes of the year. I have several runs on these, and something I can tell you after today, which was a heat adaptation fitness run. Started off at 80, finished at about 77 degrees. Trying to plant the heat adaptation PR seeds right now to be harvested, hopefully CIM December 2025. And this is Adidas' more lightweight shoe. And something, disclaimer, I buy all these shoes with my own money, so you're going to get an unbiased review. This channel obviously is not big enough to be getting any kind of sponsorships or anything like that. I'm definitely not getting shoes. So the stack height on the Adidas Evo SL, 39.5 in the rear and 33 in the forefoot, with a small plate sandwiched in between. It's like a plastic small plate to give a little bit of rigidity, to make it more stable, but nothing you're gonna feel. It's not anything like a carbon racer or anything like that. This is just to me, a fairly versatile daily trainer with a higher stack height that is gonna help you feel a little more plush on your tempo runs. This is the kind of shoe today where I did a little over 8 miles in this, and today's run, which I'll put up on the screen right here, was a little over 8 miles, hotter run, where I kind of just wanted to see how I would feel on somewhat tired legs, where I didn't feel great. Starting this week off, wanted to just get like a daily trainer run where I want to pick up the pace slightly and maybe throw in some faster miles. Like I was thinking tempo. And I wanted to also see, again, I've run some workouts in the shoe, like on Mare Island in Vallejo, where I did a lot of hills. 1 mile at sub 3. I think it was a stride, a fartlek, 1 sprint, and maybe a tempo mile with a lot of hills in there. And that was over 10 miles, and I'll also be putting that up here so you can see that. You can follow me on Strava, Joey Moselle. JoeyMousel. I wanted to see how these shoes would feel at my weekly long run, which I always minimum hit 2 hours or more, because you make big fitness adaptations when you hit that 2 hour threshold in your long run. So I try to hit a 2 hour long run once a week minimum, and that's typically, if it's slower, a little over 14 miles. Faster, I might just throw in more time to get more mileage, because mileage on feet is always more important. If you're not feeling great, like I was in this shoe, where my goal was to do a long run, like semi-workout style, and I just did not have it that run, and I hit like 15.5 miles. I'll also put that here, and I will say something in my experimenting with the shoes, which I have now 31 miles in or so from all the more tempo workout runs I've done as a daily trainer. These shoes really hit the mark for me. Like, this is a shoe that are really comfy for, like, if I'm marathon training now, 5 to, like, if I'm feeling good, 5 to 8 miles. On Mare Island, I was kind of starting to reel a little bit at the end, and in that 10.5 mile workout run, where I think that was kind of the limit for me in these shoes. I really do enjoy the stack height in these. The higher tempo run shoe, this is something that I'm learning is something I would use once a week for the kind of training I'm doing for my marathon training. every run I've done in these where it's like 5, 7, 8 miles, really good. Minus kind of like the end of today. Once I kind of hit about mile 7 in my marathon training, this marathon training block where I am running higher mileage and my legs are a little more worn out, I really start to kind of feel worn out with these around mile 7. So like if you're doing your easier runs, which I would not recommend these. They feel decent at slower mileage for me. They do have a high stack height with 39.5 in the heel, 33.5 in the forefoot, giving you a 6mm drop. This is the kind of shoe where I'm starting to feel a little more lively for my recovery runs, where I'm going to be running more so in my Glycerin Max. If I'm really wanting to go plod along slow, if I really want to keep the intention slow, I'm going to put on my Vomero 18. I'm going to be getting the Vomero Plus and Premium later and doing reviews on those. I'm super excited for those max high shoes. Injury prevention, comfortable. I will definitely feel elated on those, like I'm on clouds. Vegan marshmallows. But these are something I really can only take, for my personal preference, once a week. I am technically a heavier runner, a little over 6 foot right now, 170. I need to probably get down, like the recommendation if I'm taking marathon training seriously, they say I should be 155.
At my height, and they say anyone under my height is a boo-boo. JK Joey K.
I wore these glasses on the run today, just giving a little shout out to Runner and the Gooder sunglasses. Get the sunnies. Runner hat, RNR. I should probably keep my weight. It's just more efficient. And then when I'm cycling, I can bump my weight back up to probably like 171, 172, 173, and still be able to maintain my 6-pack and small flex, plant power. So stack height, I really like these for a tempo daily trainer. If you're someone that's lighter, these might feel way better for someone that's like in a lighter range. But for me personally, at my height and weight, this is, or someone that's doing less mileage, someone that's not running as much while I ride and work on my feet all day, a full-time job, I would say this is my perfect, this is a really good once a week, more tempo, pick up the pace, I feel pretty good daily run mileage shoe where I'm going to be running 4 to 8 miles. Today wasn't really feeling great at about mile 7 with these. My feet were swelling a little bit in these as it was going, but it's true to size for me at a size 12. I did not have any hot spots. I haven't had any issues, but they just feel a little like I'm taking a little bit of a pounding when I'm starting to hit like it comes about past mile 7, or I think on that long run on Mare Island I was really starting to feel it like mile 8. And I just really kind of slowed down. I couldn't run fast in these. And something I can tell you is, if you are going to try to do a long run in these and you're not feeling it, these were not great for a 2-hour long run. I should have been wearing something like Glycerin Max or like a Puma Mad Max or maybe like a Hoka Skyward X. For me, these are not comparable to the Super Blast 2. Those are a really good long run shoe. They might not be. These might be a little bouncier. These are not as grippy as most shoes. The Super Blast 2 is way more grippy, way more cushioned, higher stack height. And if you're doing like easier long runs where you do want to maybe try to like run a bit faster, those are more versatile for me than these. Also, like a better daily trainer that's a little faster, that just feels more comfortable and more cushion than these run a little more firm, which I do like for the stability and springiness, or for the pickup pace in these. But I definitely prefer the Nova Blast 5 over the Evo SL when it comes to daily mileage, where I'm going to be a little faster. This is probably like I would say I'd wear these if I'm just want to pick it up maybe a little more than the Nova Blast 5. But then again, I can run over 2 hours in the Nova Blast 5 and still feel like I can go. I don't feel like I'm taking as much as a thrashing as I am in these. And that's really important for marathon training. Like if you're gonna have a one shoe rotation and you're looking at like a higher sack height shoe between the Evo SL and the Asics Nova Blast 5, let's just say for example, I'm going to tell you to pick the Nova Blast 5 each and every time. This is like a shoe I would add into my rotation if you're just feeling like you want an extra daily trainer, maybe 1 or 2 days where you're just trying to pick it up a little extra. This isn't even a shoe like the Adidas Adi Zero Pro 4, where I would want to do like a long run, faster, pick up the pace kind of shoe. Like this is something I would recommend. Like if you're going to do a longer run workout, or really any kind of workout faster than tempo, I would get these for sure, 100% over these. If you don't mind training in super shoes. I already did a review on these. You can look that up in my previous history, but this is a wonderful shoe that I would recommend for a marathon. But I think from what I'm seeing, I'm going to be ordering the Asics Metaspeed Sky Tokyo, and that's probably going to be my shoe that I'm going to put up against the Alpha Fly 3s, the white and guava pair that I have. So it's either going to, most likely I'm going to be running CIM 2025 in an Alpha Fly 3 or Metaspeed Sky Tokyo. I'm trying to see about the edge, but I'm probably leaning towards Tokyo buying those from what I'm seeing in the reviews. And I'm hearing really great things about it being a comfortable, fast shoe. He feels a little more beat up towards the end of his runs. Like he's like, I wouldn't wear these very often. You get some training in them, do some workouts, and then wear them for race day where you're wanting to get a PR. But like I said, I don't have them yet, so all that video will also be coming in the future. So, but in the meantime, these are also a good backup, and these are also, like I said in my last review, if you want to see the full review, go check it out. These are very interesting because they purposely make the heel a lot softer in the rear. So if you want to find out if you're a heel striker or not, try these shoes. And if you don't like them because they're really mushy back here, I think this is very interesting, like a very innovative kind of shoe because it's different. It is definitely a different. It's definitely a different squish in the back. You can even see the separation here of how firm it is in the foam, how soft it is. So when you're landing on that, and if you really get too much of a sinking feeling and it's not propulsive, this is supposed to give you a softer landing in the heel because it's teaching you how to run as a midfoot to toe off striker. And if you want to be better at landing more flat and as a midfoot to toe off forefoot, I would this is like just a perfect shoe for that. Like I've never had a shoe like this before, and it's just fun to be able to try something like this and run and really learn about yourself as a runner. So thanks Adidas again, such a rad life innovative shoe. That's a really good idea. I just wanted to give comment kudos to that. It's fun to be able to learn new things through your shoes and technology as a runner. The laces on these, nothing special. I'm actually really thinking about switching these out. I just don't like them. They just seem kind of like I don't really know how to describe it. Like a little more like the stringy threaded harsh over your top metatarsals, and I don't know, like they're decent, but there's something about them, like they're very just cheap and nothing special about them. So I get these sawtooth laces online. You can get these on Amazon, and these are going to keep it more in place. I put some on my Glycerin Max, so far my shoe of the year. These are not, like some people love these as their shoe of the year. It's not mine. Still probably going to go Glycerin Max. So I'd upgrade the laces. These are really solid laces right here. A much bigger modded upgrade for something like this. Upper, very lightweight. This is a very lightweight shoe in general. It's almost like a really just simple tempo daily trainer, like a stripped down version of their most expensive race day shoe, the Psych 500, where they just give you a big slab of Light Strike Pro for a faster tempo daily trainer. Very lightweight, breathable upper. Nothing, too crazy. Just a very nice, lightweight, more stripped down daily trainer, lightweight shoe. A little more slippery on the bottom. This isn't like something I would want to wear in the winter. This is just, like I said, something you're going to want to do some tempo runs in my opinion, from what I've experienced in my running. And as you can see, I got some wear in the middle, so I'm definitely landing a little bit more in the midfoot. I'm trying to get use out of the heel by landing like more flat, like and experimenting with a little bit more heel striking directly under my knee. You don't want to go too far out because that's apparently where you get injured. But something I do love about shoes like these is like, yeah, there's a little bit of an indent cut out here, a little bit of an indent cavern. I really like the surface area of shoes like these. I don't really like cutouts and those like big cutout, which I've always thought, and these like really big cutout shoes, I always feel, not always, but I just feel like, which I know that they do this kind of stuff for weight savings, but sometimes I don't feel like I'm getting enough of the foot strike all the way through, getting to like push off and through the whole way. And I'm gonna assume that it's mostly because you're gonna be like toeing off up here. I like the surface areas of stuff more like this. I don't know. Sometimes I just feel like when they cut too much out, it's not. That I'm just not getting enough of the force in of the of my foot strike powering all the way through down through the foam. But you know, this is a fairly rigid foam. Like this does feel soft to me, but like really comfortable. But like it really works on this shoe, and this is a very protective. And the outsole, it looks really durable. The material they use down here is they have it pretty much all the way laid out through here, so this feels like it's going to be a more durable super shoe. But some shoes I notice it in where I feel like there's too much missing in the middle, and it just feels like I'm like running on this just oval set of like shoes that I'm not getting like a full range of motion in my feet. But I don't feel like I don't know if I noticed it in those. I didn't. There are some shoes I noticed it in, but it's not those. Another thing as well is I haven't really had much heel slip in these. Once I take out the laces, I do have a runner's knot in these. I have pretty much a runner's knot in most all my shoes, and if it feels, to me, sometimes I'll do a runner's knot, and if it feels like too tight, I will just kind of wear them a little loose. You're not gonna have as much room to tie your shoes down, but I'll kind of like pull it out a little, like the laces all the way through. Like if my feet are just like a little messed up and been on my feet all day, a little more swollen, or a little more irritated, and just kind of wear them slightly more loose, with giving me an extra amount of room, and then having a better heel lock with the runner's knot. And I've done a video on a runner's knot before in my running tips file, so you can also look that up if you want to know how to do a runner's knot. It just gives you a better lockdown in the heel, especially like if you're feeling a little loose and your heel's slipping out, and you're just gonna have a better experience while running. Alright, trying to think. I think that pretty much does it for this shoe.
As I proceed to go on for another 10 plus minutes.
I would recommend, if you're someone like me that's marathon block training, and you have a lot of different pairs of shoes, to mix up your shoes foot pattern, so you're working different parts of your feet and your legs, because there's different types of foams, firmnesses. There's different types of, on the scale of firmness of each shoe you're going to be wearing, different stack heights and different molds to where you're going to be landing. It's going to work different parts of your feet, different parts of your legs. So switching up your shoes throughout the week is not only going to be better for your foot health and work out different parts of your body, but it's also going to extend the life of your other shoes. So if you're running a lot of high mileage, you know, if you're buying extra pairs of shoes and having a bigger rotation, you're not wasting money. You're going to be just extending the other pairs of your shoes. And if you're wearing the same pairs of shoes every day, you're just gonna, your foam isn't gonna have a chance to recover to fill back up. So like if I'm wearing, like today, I did an 8-mile run. I noticed that I think it's probably compressing a lot more and throughout the run. And by the time I hit mile 7 in these tempo runs, or like today, I did just one tempo mile and one sub-3 marathon pace mile, goal mile, which was a 6:38 mile in this 8-mile run. In this 8.02 mile run, in the heat, which I will say, running in the heat, running in high 70s and 80-degree weather, does not feel the same. It feels a lot cooler than it usually does. So I do feel like it's working. And I wish Sage Canada, the vegan runner, wasn't sponsored by Hoka, because I would like to hear his thoughts on some of these different shoes. But that's a channel I also recommend, is Sage Canada. Hella Good is also a vegan runner. for the planet, humanity, animals. So give those channels a look out and sub. If you want to become just a better marathon runner in general, start subscribing to some of these high mileage elite running channels, and you're just going to learn a ton of stuff through these like advice, shoe videos, and free information through a lot of the books he's read and his training, to where it's just free game. If you want the ball in your court, if you want the shoes on your foot, if you want the right shoe for your mileage, definitely subscribe to those channels. Ball in your court, you're going to have a lot better marathon training. So like I said, if you're someone like me, in this vlog style review video, I would say get these. They're still $150 on Adidas.com. They got my favorite colorway for the Adidas Evo SL. They still have the lucid yellow, but they also have the new red, which I like with this, and with the Adidas Pro 4, which I think is also like lucid red. So you can get this in red, you can get it in yellow, and many other clean colorways like the white with like the French blue and the Tour de France. Today Pagacha, 4th Tour de France Championship. Run's over with. Gonna let these hang out on the shoe rack and expand a little bit. Maybe tomorrow I'll wear the Super Blast 2 so I can kind of in my head compare which one I like more. I have over 100 miles in the Super Blast 2. They still feel pretty much brand new. If I were to, it's a $50 difference between the Super Blast 2 and these, but you want a long run shoe where it's pretty versatile. And yeah, you're spending an extra $50, but the thing I'm going to tell you, I've heard these are pretty durable from the reviews. I've only got 31 miles on them, but I'm hearing different things from different people, but people are getting some pretty high mileage out of these. But you're spending $200 on a pair like the Super Blast 2, and they're not my favorite shoes, and I did give them a really good review. But like my original Super Blast, I got well over 300 miles. But you got people getting ridiculous mileage on them where you're getting 400, 500, 600 miles. There's some people getting like 800. If you're a lightweight runner, there are people getting like just absurd amounts of mileage on them. So like a shoe like the New Balance Rebel V4, you got a lot of people saying like, and I kind of felt the same way, like they died out for me, or they were starting to. Like I felt like I did not really like those shoes that much. It was kind of almost difficult getting those over 100 for me. I feel like I experienced what some people were feeling, where they were dying out before 100, but I at least like to get over 100. I think I got over 150 miles on those before I retired them. You can go to my Strava and look at my retired shoes. I try to always at least get a minimum of 100 miles. A minimum over 100 miles out of my training shoes. So I think we're pretty much gonna wrap these up. And like I said, these are really good tempo shoe. Like today, hitting those tempo miles, and where I'm trying to pick up the pace and a little pep in my step, this is definitely going to give you more energy return. I was really enjoying these through some of my shorter tempo runs, but this is not a shoe I'm going to take over 10 miles very often. I don't think I'll ever. I think I'm in my training, probably going forward, I'm going to probably be 8 miles max on these. My legs were a little beat up today, so we'll see in the future. Maybe I'll do some more, maybe I'll do a 100-mile review with these later on. We'll see. I don't know if I'm going to or not, no promises, but so far I'm kind of seeing that I don't really think I like taking these much more than over 7 miles. I think this really good sweet spot for me in marathon training are those days where I want to do more tempo, 5 to 7, 8 miles, and then kind of limit it there. I would not say that this is in the same category for me as the Super Blast 2, where I'm using those pretty much weekly as a long run. The Hoka Skyward X is my long run, faster. You can work reverse, however you can run slower to higher mileage in those, faster mileage in those. And like I said, I'll even take the Asics Nova Blast 5 over these for daily training. I would probably use the Asics, like if I'm running 6 days a week, probably use this once, Asics twice, Super Blast, and then the Hoka Skyward X. It's like either the Super Blast on a long run or like Adidas Pro 4. It depends if I'm going to use this for a tempo run, or like maybe this for a workout, or maybe this for a long run for the Adidas Pro 4, or like an Alfly 3 that you have higher mileage on, where you're going to want to do a long run, something really comfortable like that. And it just kind of depends on how you feel. And then maybe the rest of your week, do like you're going to want to recover the Glycerin Max, and then Vomero to help leg recovery and hitting, you know, like those smaller runs where you're running slower pace, easy mileage, or like relaxed mileage where you get that human growth hormone recovery. When you exercise for, like, the sweet spot is like around 40 minutes, your body produces HGH to help recover, and so doing those slower miles help your body get stronger, recover, so you can, it's like the epitome of run slow to run fast. And I mean, there's some weeks where I'm so beat up, like last week, I probably had like 2 miles that were like actually pretty good quality as far as like faster paces. I was really kind of beat up last week with my strength training work and everything, and I was just kind of exhausted, and most of my mileage was slow. And unfortunately, picking this for my long run, in that 2-hour long run, I wanted to do a workout, so my mindset was I was going to try to do like intervals, whether it was on and off intervals of fast to tempo or fast to sub 3 paces. So my intention was, okay, I want to try a long run shooting these so I can give this in a review. And what my discovery is that I didn't have it in me that run. I felt like I felt pretty trashy in that run. I think my average elapsed pace was 8:58, just under 9-minute miles, averaged. And these really kind of these were just too much of a beating on my feet, on my body in general, for a 2-hour slower long run. So my intent was faster, so my intent was grab the faster shoe, I'm going to test it for a review, which my body didn't have that day. That happens quite often. Sometimes you just have a run where you just don't feel great. And so in the beginning, I would recommend having a backup plan. Like if you're driving somewhere maybe to do a long run, take a couple pairs of shoes. So, because if you get there and you don't feel great and you're like, maybe I'll throw on the Super Blast 2, or so like if I can run faster, I can pick it up in these, or maybe a Glycerin Max, to where I still can run actually really fast in those. I love the Glycerin Max because they just give you more confidence that they're less injury prone, and they just feel great. Like I don't feel trashy after my runs with those. I don't feel as banged up. I'm bringing a couple pairs of those because if you go out there with that intent, it makes your intent of picking these faster shoes for a long run that aren't as comfortable and not as forgiving
in the later miles.
These are more firm shoes that are just gonna really wear you out once you hit that 8-mile run, and then you just want to keep going, and you could break it up and put another pair of shoes on in the run, split it up, but Strava unfortunately doesn't let you switch mid-run like mileage of like splitting 2 different shoes. So you could just stop your watch, save it on the shoe, and then maybe start for the next one, so you can really keep your track of mileage in your shoes, so you always know how many miles are in your shoes. Start the second part of your run, just swap it out real quick with the other pair of shoes if you're feeling garbage. So maybe like you're not feeling it, you're not going to run fast the rest of the run, take these off real quick, put on something else like a Glycerin Max, finish the run out, and then just save that run as a Glycerin Max in the settings. So far, all my tempo runs been great. Where I'm running 5 to 8 miles. Long run, not so great. If you're not feeling it, this is not the shoe you're gonna pick. You're gonna want to wear a minimum something else, like a daily trainer that's gonna be more comfortable, like the Asics Nova Blast 5.
Although I have seen other people online say that they do like these for long runs and they are comfortable for longer stuff, but it's just not for me, in my opinion.
I'd probably recommend something else. Because I'm also hearing the Asics Nova Blast 5, a lot of people aren't getting the same durability as previous Nova Blasts. Like I had a Nova Blast I got over 500 miles. And I've had a different Nova Blast where I got over 400 miles on them. So in the past, the Nova Blast by Asics has always been a very durable shoe. Apparently, some people aren't having the same results. I only have 70 miles on the new pair, but I do really like them. I did a review on that as well. But I would recommend these. I do think these are a really fun, higher stack tempo shoe. A lot of tempo shoes have been lower stack. This is a really, like, for a shorter mileage, bigger runner tempo shoe, I would say these are a really good fit. Very simple, aesthetically, like, beautiful shoes, which also make you want to get out there.
Lace them up, fighting the good fight.
I personally like really aesthetically pleasing shoes. Makes me just feel good, makes me want to run more. For that daily trainer mileage, definitely recommend these as a once a week pick up the pace kind of shoe for mileage efforts for your marathon training blocks. This is not the shoe I'd recommend for your workouts. There's other shoes I would recommend for workouts much more than these. And right now, if I'm going to go do a workout, I'm going to use either my Pro 4 Alpha Flight 3
If you're a true sicko like me who likes to do training in their race day shoes.
And I'm even looking at getting the Brooks Hyperion Max 3. I've heard that that's kind of a super blast killer, so that might be my next set of shoes. Is once I replace the Asics Nova Blast 5, it's gonna probably be the Salomon Aeroglide
3.
Maybe like something by Mizuno that has a lot of really good super bangers out there for daily trainers, more comfortable, durable. So the Salomon Aeroglide 3 is probably going to be my next daily trainer for those daily training miles. Thanks for staying tuned to the end and supporting this channel. It is free to hit the like and subscribe button to support this channel. Leave comments in the comment section, and I will do my best to answer any questions that you have about anything about these shoes, anything specific to your needs. I will do the best of my abilities to answer. All right, peace out. Hasta la pasta, pineapple leaf. Till the next one, keep running around life.
You need to take every opportunity you get. Don't want to have any regrets.
The Queen stage, high altitude.
Just finished another weekly 2-hour long run minimum. Got the rice going. Edamame, pineapple, bell pepper,
Fresno pepper.
and pot stickers with a bunch of veggies in them. Also got tempeh in here, so got a lot of protein. A lot of carbs, healthy carbs and protein.
Caffeine in my bloodstream. Quality coffee is the best.
One bite, everybody knows the rules. I had my one bite. Icy, spicy fire flames. Fire spitter. Getting down with the Awana shoe reviews. Ow, ow!
You learn a lot, and it's a healthy outlet to make running and your training part of your watching
we go.
experiences.
So just in a mile, forgot to check what pace
He is
I'm going.
plant-based and
Not very fast.
ran a 2:39 marathon. He's going for the sub 2:30. It's insane.
And I'm just
Plant
really
power.
focusing on how I'm landing.
Again, there are too many Oreos to go over, but this one was also really good. It's like a more horchata style Oreo, and I'm so happy that they're all vegan. But this one does get a Joey the Jackalope pass. Also want to give comment kudos to Hella Good, the vegan runner who just ran over 3,000 days consecutively. What a huge accomplishment and something to be so proud of. Hella yeah.